So I was scrolling through my YouTube homepage and ignoring like the 10 different types of videos I get, like it's insane how different they are. I stumbled upon why does TDS feel empty? Now of course I see TDS in the title, I immediately go on it. And also heard a lot of people saying how TDS feels boring recently. So we're gonna be reacting to this here. Also videos by Mr. Business Blocks, so credits to him of course. It's a pretty short video, so let's go ahead and react to it. Oh yeah, I also want to state something. This video will probably talk about like OG TDS, and to make myself clear, I will not express my opinions on all TDS because I wasn't there. Yes, call me a newgen, call me a noob, whatever you want. I joined in Lunar Overture, I have no regrets about it, call me a noob. So, but like, if he says like old event is better than new event, I won't complain because I haven't played them. However, if people say that like, I don't know, I mean, let's say like Operation Ice is bad for all the wrong reasons, then obviously I'm going to complain because I played Operation Ice. Anyway, let's go ahead and react to this.
I've been playing TDS for over 5 years at this point. I've seen the highest of highs and the lowest of lows. However, through all
wait, okay, I'm sorry, sorry for pausing, but I don't think you meant anything by putting, I don't know if this guy thinks Krampus 23 is bad, because it was like, I see, and many people also agree on this, that Krampus 23 was really good, especially after the disaster that was Lunar Overture. But anyway, just keep going. I don't even know why I paused, my bad.
However, through all my time playing, I've never been more worried for the future of TDS as I am now. But why am I worried, and can TDS get back on the right track to a better future? Well, first we need to look at why TDS is starting to fall off. The first reason why me and many others believe TDS...
Wait, what do you mean? Okay, if you mean player count, I don't think TDS is falling off. Let me just pull up some stats real quick. Yeah, if we look at concurrent players for like the past year, it's been pretty consistent between 10k and 20k, of course big spikes during events. It's pretty, it varies a lot. It goes like, it can go from 6k to like 20k. I'd say it averages at like 10,000 players, maybe 15,000, which is not bad at all. Yes, it was not as much as like, I don't know if we go and take a look at like 2021. Actually, it wasn't that much in 2021 either. I mean, they had no updates for like a bunch of time, and then Frost Invasion happened, and it's still around 10k. So I wouldn't say TDS is falling off, at least stats-wise. Also, I love how this went up just because of the Lemonade Farm skid. It just massive like spike. Anyway, back to the video.
Is starting to fall off is because of their rushed, almost weekly updates. You see, if you're new to TDS, the devs started to do weekly updates around the time TDX came out. This is because TDX was TDS's only real competition on Roblox. Now you may be asking yourself, how did this brand new game threaten the king of Roblox tower defense games? Well, you see...
Well, I replied to that real quick. It was because Lunar Overture was an absolute snooze fest, and also the entire hype around TDX was just at the beginning, and that is because... I think he's about to say it here.
One of TDS's biggest devs left TDS
he
to
was
make
not a dev,
TDX. So because John Roblox was very popular among the TDS community, TDS thought they needed to release a lot of updates to compete with not only this high quality TD game, but to keep John Roblox's fans.
Well, not really, but you know, John Roblox obviously working on TDX brought a lot of TDS players that wanted to try something new to TDX. But then TDS got back on track with the Xmas 23 event, and I think that everybody just went back. And that is why TDX is not nearly as popular right now. That doesn't mean it's bad. Player count means nothing quality-wise. But I think that's why TDX has fallen off. I don't think it's fallen off. I think actually right now it's probably the average player count for TDX. It's just that it's normal for a game made by a huge YouTuber with a huge impact on the TD community to have a like massive player count at the start, and then for it to slowly fall off like to where it is now.
We're leaving TDS altogether. However, if you look at TDX today, it struggles to get above 5,000 players. So hooray, TDS is the #1 TD game again. But instead of going back to the former updates every couple of months, they decided to continue with the almost weekly updates. Now, one thing I have to clear up about these updates that a lot of the community hates is that they would try to fix things that most of the community liked. Don't get me wrong, towers like the Rocketeer needed a rework to make them usable again. However, I didn't really see any part of the TDS community that was asking for a commander or DJ rework.
Okay, wait with that. Okay, not everything has to be done according to the community. Yes, community feedback is a big thing, but we can agree that DJ, especially DJ, needed a rework, because I didn't like DJ pre-rework, because it was just like it was the lamest support. Like, you bring one, you place down one, max it, that's it. Now with all the gimmicks that I actually really like DJ, I even say I like it more than Commander. Commander just needed like a rebalance overall because it was way too overpowered. But I do think they were needed, and you can't listen to the community every single time, because at this point the community just says make everything overpowered, but then they complain about the game being too easy. This doesn't undermine community feedback, which I still think it's really important.
Changes that destroy strats overnight happening all the time. TDS seems to be making the game harder in the worst possible way.
Why?
I almost quit TDS because of these balance changes.
Wait, why? I don't really get what he's saying here, but okay.
But now that I'm done explaining the weekly updates and how they came to be, we need to talk about their recent events. Now, you all probably saw this coming, but I need to talk about the Frost Invasion event. When I first heard TDS was bringing back the Frost Spirit, I was concerned but also interested on how they would implement the 2021 boss. However, I was unfortunately right to be concerned with how the boss would be added. For context, I played TDS when the Frost Spirit was first added in 2021. And to be honest, I loved the event. I thought it was hard enough to be challenging, but the reward was worth it. And that's the exact reason I didn't like it when they added the Frost Spirit back.
Why?
I felt like they made it too easy just to compensate the new players. Not to mention, both rewards were pretty horrible even for hard mode. And listen, I know why they added back the Frost Spirit, but it doesn't really make sense for TDS to have lore. I mean, when I
Okay, wait, we're moving on to the next point before we do that. As I said, I don't have a say on Frost Invasion or on the original Frost Invasion because I didn't play that. To say that the new Frost Invasion was easy, I do think it was pretty hard though, and tedious, especially because of the 40 wave system. Like, the one thing I didn't like about Operation Ice, it's still my favorite event I've played, but the one thing I didn't like is how it just hard mode drags out for too long. But the Frost Spirit boss fight, the Frost Spirit 2024 boss fight is, I'd go as far as to say it's probably one of the best boss fights I've ever done. It's an actual run killer compared to most of them. Like, if you go in regular modes, bosses aren't really run killers. Frost Spirit is. He's a genuine threat. He has threatening abilities, and he's actually pretty hard to fight. So as far as to say Frost Spirit is easy, no. The actual event itself was hard. I don't know how hard compared to other previous events in like 2021 because, you know, different meta at all. But yeah.
To be honest, I loved the event. I thought it was hard enough to be challenging, but the reward was worth it. And that's the exact
Also, yeah, Snowballer is trash. Elementalist is decent. Like, I'm not gonna say it's an A tier tower, it's probably like low B tier, but it's still usable.
Like it.
And event towers aren't made for them to be the meta. And at least from my point of view, I don't think event towers should be the meta. I think they should just be some cool collectible you get. Then of course some do end up going in the meta, like Old Gladiator, Cryomancer, pre-nerf Chester. Cryomancer is still in the meta, I'd argue.
When they added the Frost Spirit back, I felt like they made it too easy just to compensate the new players.
Yeah, Frost Spirit was not easy, let me just tell you that.
Not to mention, both rewards were pretty horrible even for hard mode. And listen, I know why they added back the Frost Spirit, but it doesn't really make sense for TDS to have lore. I mean, when I boot up TDS to play Pizza Party or Fallen mode, I just want to place cool towers to take out cool enemies. And when I boot up some of my favorite YouTubers' event videos, none of them even mention the lore really, except for Corso for some reason. Meaning, if the YouTubers who play TDS for a living can't even get interested in the lore, what makes us TDS devs think Jeremy over here, who just got off a 9 to 5 and has little free time, will care any bit about the lore of a Roblox game? My point is, it seems like TDS is struggling to create a new original event and instead would rather try to add lore to an old event.
Okay, well, I will explain this real quick here. You know, I'm into the TDS lore, and I think the reason why many people aren't into the TDS lore is because it just started way too late. So when I'd argue the first bits of lore that were in 2020 when Solar Eclipse started, that was already when the game was like 2, almost 3. The game had waited 2-3 years to fully implement lore, and when it actually started going all in, which I think was in Lunar Overture, like you could argue Violent Night, but Lunar Overture was when they started going all in, and it had been 4 years since the game started. That is why many OG players and YouTubers don't care about the lore, because that's not why they started playing TDS. But for someone like me that started playing TDS in the, I'd call it the lore era, it interests me because that, you know, that's one of the reasons I play this game. And before you say, this is not a comparison I'm about to do, but it's just an example I'm pointing out. Why does TDX work with the lore while TDS doesn't? As said, TDS started to have lore 3 years in. TDX started right away with lore, and that's why many people in the TDX community me included, are interested in the lore, while less are in the TDS community. Not a comparison, just an example I'm pointing out.
In case you think this was just a one-time thing, let's look at the teaser for the
also, yes, they can't make original events. I'm going to prove a counterpoint to that. Escape. Still, they should make something more original, because I think he's about to mention it here.
Spring event. Let me just scroll down, and that's literally just the 2020 spring event.
Yeah, they're kind of going a bit too much with, I won't call it nostalgia bait, but, you know, bringing back old stuff. Like, we got Krampus, okay, Umbra in 2020, if you want to call it an Umbra comeback, Lunar Overture, but I don't know. Then we got Frost Spirit, and now Lucky Doom. Yeah, I think they should do more original events, that I agree on.
Boss. Oh my gosh, how far has TDS fallen? Listen, I can't judge the event before it comes out, but I'm just saying that we need some actually original content and not just adding unnecessary lore. And while these weekly
it's not
updates
unnecessary,
and events are driving players like me away, nothing boils our blood more than watching certain skins be behind a paywall. Now, the devs have said that they're behind a paywall to make some of the money back that they've lost by making the skins, but the average player is missing out on cool original updates because they're putting their time into making these skins.
But I'm pretty sure the first half of 2023 was just skin crate, and people weren't liking that. I don't know what you're talking about with all the skins we're getting now, but there were parts in the history of TDS that were just skins instead of original content.
And I could care less what TDS does until it costs the player base update quality. And while I could ramble on for a long time about the other TDS problems, you clicked on this video to hear about the problems with TDS. But tell me in the comments if you would like to see a follow-up video on me addressing some more problems in TDS. And if you liked the video, consider subscribing or dropping a like. But until next time, peace out.
That was actually a really nice video. I'm going to drop a like. Obviously, all credits to Mr. Business Blocks. Don't you dare, guys, go in this guy's comments and harass him. Actually respect this guy, because he just stated his own opinion. So don't go and mass dislike, harass in the comments or anything like that. I don't condone that. It makes me feel bad. It makes him feel bad. Once again, thanks for Mr. Business Blocks here for making this video. Go ahead and give him some support. And I will see you guys in the next one.